What's up, Hackers? I'm here at Arm TechCon with Kassovic from MetaWare. Now, we talked almost exactly 3 years ago about what you were doing then. What's new and exciting with MetaWare?
Well, so our MetaWare line is completely expanded. We've been adding more sensors, we've been shrinking the size of our sensors, and we've just been shipping all over the world. So we've been doing clinical trials in Japan, we've been putting it on babies in Germany, they've been on horses in the US, so we've just been doing lots of killer applications with our sensors. So much fun.
Yeah, this is like half the size that it used to be as well.
Yeah, this one's 9 millimeters, and the first one we introduced was 24 millimeters in diameter. So we've really shrunk the size, and we made them waterproof, which is the really killer feature.
Oh yeah, I see all this scoop on here. That's so cool.
So it's covered in epoxy, which means it will actually survive 200 washes.
No way! Sweet, right? And how much does this run?
It depends on the amount that you order. So on our website, you can get them for about 60 to 100 bucks. When you buy them in quantity, obviously it's quite a bit less, but you just need to talk to us. It depends on the quantity.
Yeah, this on its own works and just connects to your phone or an iPad app or whatever?
So you're holding the 9-axis IMU, plus it has Bluetooth built in, so it talks to your iOS phone, your Android phone, your Windows tablet. It basically talks to anything that has Bluetooth.
Wow.
And then we give away free and open source APIs. So if you want to build your own app, you just kind of plug and play our library into your kind of IDE of choice, be it Xcode or Eclipse, it doesn't matter, and then you start hacking away.
Nice.
You get sensor data in real time or in post time if you want to just log in into the memory of that little guy.
Cool. So what about this thing? This looks more like your older model, but I'm imagining it has some sort of revamped capabilities.
Yeah, so we did add a couple more sensors, like the pressure sensor and the light sensor that we didn't have in the previous versions.
Oh, cool.
And what we were trying to do is give folks just a nice case and something that comes with more stuff out of the box. You know, the button, the LED, the case. This one is our most popular sensor, and we've revamped it 3 times. So it used to be an NRF51 based design, so that was the Cortex M0. Now it's the NRF52, so it's the Cortex M4. It's got half the power that it used to have, so it runs for twice as long on the same battery. So it's got lots of neat little features, but it's our most popular model.
But the computing power is probably also ramped up, right, with the M4?
Yes. So you can do quite a bit more. You got more flash, more RAM, and then the big thing is you can also just do a lot more processing. So you can run things like a low pass or high pass filter in there.
No way!
Whenever the data comes out, it's nice and filtered for you.
That is so cool. Yeah. So what has it been like developing this? Because you were already kind of established as a company 3 years ago. What's the journey been like since then?
We've just been selling them like crazy. So we're trying to expand our reach all the way, like I said, to Japan, Germany, to Australia.
Yeah.
So we have crazy projects that we've worked on that all the way out into other continents, and it's just been so much fun. But what we as a company are trying to focus on now is healthcare, because we believe that wearable sensors can do a lot of good when used for healthcare applications. Right now our focus is physical therapy, and then that's why we are releasing our physical therapy tool as part of our offering and not just the sensors by themselves.
So is this totally new for TechCon?
Yeah, so it's currently, our physical therapy app that we demoed with you is currently being tested by UCSF, Stanford, UMC, and a couple other clinics, and we will be releasing it next month to the public.
Wow, how can people find out more about this?
We'll be launching a new website called neotherapy.com, and all the information will be on there, but it's primarily for clinicians. So if you're physical therapy, be it a one-man clinic, or you're Stanford, you're huge. Stanford Healthcare is huge, and they employ thousands of therapists. It doesn't matter. Everyone benefits from the app by using it in the clinic with their patient.
That's so cool. How did you get started on this company? What led you to do this, and what enabled you?
Back then, Bluetooth was really new. Bluetooth Low Energy was new. And basically Apple was one of the first ones to adopt the technology thanks to the iPhone. And so I was working at Intel, and I said, I really want to work on wearable technology. And Bluetooth is the key to unlocking wearable tech. Things are getting cheaper. So I left the company and started MEL Lab as we know it today. We've been making basically sensors ever since. And the reason that I think we ever got off the ground was thanks to Kickstarter. We threw out our first Kickstarter. People responded really well. We made over $100,000, and we did our first manufacturing run of sensors, and we haven't stopped ever since. Now we've sold, I think, over 100,000 sensors. It's been a really good road. We're really excited. It's so much fun.
So are you planning to use the new Bluetooth mesh capabilities?
Yes.
Yeah?
So BLE5, it's still kind of new in the sense that not a lot of phones will work with it. So I think just the new iPhones now are BLE5 compliant. So we're just waiting for everyone to catch up. So Windows talks BLE5, more devices, mobile devices talk BLE5, and then we'll support mesh and the features like the double bandwidth as soon as we think the world's ready for it.
Yeah.
But it's easy because any of our devices that you already have out there, you will be able to OTA them, which means remote firmware update, and then you automatically get BLE5.
I love that.
Which is awesome, right? Like you don't have to go and buy a new sensor. So and then thanks to BLE5, like I said, you get double the bandwidth, which is really important for us because a lot of people think BLE4 is very slow.
How do you get double the bandwidth? Is it just that like there's more frequencies available so you can transmit?
I believe so. It's probably a combination of like hardware and software changes, but I'm not aware of what they are specifically. It's significant, right, for the technology because it had a lot of shortcomings. But now it's widely adopted in your cell phone, right? So we're not going back. So all we can do is make the protocol better. So BLE5 is pretty darn important because now you're going to get 4 times the range. 4 times the range? That's so cool. And then twice the speed. So it's huge. Cool. It's huge for what it was before. It's going to make a lot of people who are really pessimistic about the protocol really excited to start adopting the tech over other techs like Zigbee.
Like what?
Like Zigbee.
Oh, yeah. Because that's still pretty bulky.
Yes, yeah. And then the receivers are expensive, right? It's expensive technology, whereas now, when you've got the phone for free, then why not use that?
Plus, like, the mesh plus the 4 times range is just going to be incredible for, like, expanding a sensor net or being able to relay information.
Yeah, now a sensor network is possible, basically, with Bluetooth. So we'll see what comes out of that in the next year or two when the technology is available and adopted by the bigger companies like Apple and Google. I'm super excited.
That's so cool. Ever since I was working at Pinocchio, I wanted to like have a mesh network that I could do wearables with, but they were too bulky at that time still, and like this would be so good for that. The big
thing for us is you saw if you put them into the clothes, you're still kind of bottlenecked by the mobile device, right? Because it will only allow about 3 to 4 simultaneous connections. And after that, it starts to get a little wonky. The frequency, the packets will drop, So if we had mesh, then we could have a whole outfit full of nodes, motion nodes.
And you just have one connecting
to the phone. Which would be amazing, right? Yeah. Because then we could do things like motion capture, right? Really affordably. Whereas right now we're always bottlenecked by the device that accepts all of the data. Things like that will open up, which would be really nice. I think a lot of folks too are really unhappy with the range. The range with Bluetooth is really small. It's about 100 meters. If you extend that 200, 250 meters, it becomes a lot more attractive for a lot of sports-like applications, right?
Yeah, you could have a bike gang.
Yeah.
With like matching lights or whatever.
A basketball court. Now you're like reaching the sports that are like that use quite a bit more space,
Yeah. Whoa. I can't imagine like having a whole basketball team with like things that are connected up to like the coach's phone or whatever.
It's coming.
Cool.
There are already sensors on quite a few players in a number of sports. So, but that it depends. What are you trying to? Are you trying to detect concussions of the players, and you need that. But are you just trying to figure out which play this football player is going to make next? Then imaging technology makes more sense. So sensors have their applications in the field, but it really depends on what you're looking to measure specifically.
Oh, I could totally see like football players planting them on each other so that their coach can like see what the others are doing.
But we do a lot of concussion detection with our sensors. So we have a number of companies that have bought our sensors and have deployed concussion detecting products with it. And some of them will be used by high school football teams, like pee-wee soccer teams, that kind of thing.
That is so good.
Because, concussion's a big problem we have right now, especially with young athletes. So
I
think it's a really neat application. And the big thing was people were putting the sensors in the helmets, but then a lot of people submitted white papers saying the helmets don't really get the full picture. So if we can get them on the skull, so either through like little tiny sensors that are stuck on the back of the head, right?
Whoa.
Or that are in the clothes you wear, because those are usually really close to the skin when you're wearing sports, then that makes more sense than in the helmet, right?
I was talking to someone who was talking about a mouth guard, like a smart mouth guard.
Yes, I talked to that guy too.
Yeah.
I think that's a really neat application because now it's hidden in something you already have to wear. So really the players don't feel like they're being annoyed by yet another thing that they have to wear or think about in the field. So
Yeah, and you could really easily just leave it in a charging case. Like, you have to take it off after the game as well.
I think he wants to make it wirelessly rechargeable, so you just drop it on the charging pad, your mouth guard, and then you wear it before the game. So that makes sense, right?
That's so cool.
So the sensors certainly have their applications, and they're getting more powerful with lower needs for battery. It's pretty amazing.
Are you planning on doing any inductive charging?
We have done inductive charging projects, but with these, no. These will still run on LiPo batteries, as they have for most applications that we do.
There's nothing wrong with LiPos.
Yeah, it works. It's the number one, type of cell used in consumer applications. So.
And it's fast. So the next things people should watch out for?
So we're releasing our physical therapy tool. So we'll have the medical products coming out. We're shrinking the sensors even further, and then we're making them machine washable. So that's going to be the big things coming out in 2019. I'm super excited about.
That's awesome.
Coming out. It's going to be a blast.
I'm picturing you as like a mad scientist being like, we have to shrink it further with this like weird shrink ray machine.
People are coming up to us and saying, when are they going to be something you can just ingest, and then now it's in your body, in your system, and then it's doing all these things while it's in your body, and then you just kind of release it. It's small enough that it doesn't come off as horrible trash in nature.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.